Welcome back, Vicky. And so today, you and me and everybody else also know that what has happened in Ludhiana, a bomb blast took place inside the bathroom of the district court there. And initial report said that there were two people who died, but laterwards it was confirmed that it was only one person who has died, and at least 4 to 5 people have sustained injuries in this attack. But the police are saying that they have sustained minor injuries. But what the eyewitnesses are saying that the blast was so loud that they actually felt that the whole building is going to fall down after hearing that blast. So first of all, how do you see this blast that has happened in Ludhiana? Plus, with the timing, with the Punjab elections just hot on the heels.
Uh, Timing is one part of it, Akash, but the thing is, there have been so many such incidents which have been happening in Punjab of late. I just feel that the security is so lax. Look at the Ludhiana court complex that is now, it's in the heart of the city near the DC's office. And, so it very clearly shows that, anybody and everybody is able to, carry in a bomb or something. We saw that in Delhi also. It didn't turn out to be a terror attack. It turned out to be a personal rivalry, but still a bomb is a bomb at the end of it. It tells a lot on the security aspect. This one, I think even in 2017, there were, similar incidents, but not inside a court, but, incident in which, 7 people died, just near an election rally. 7 people died, out of which 5 were children. So somewhere at what happens is that, at this level, especially, when the atmosphere is so charged up, one, before an election, and constant reports from the intelligence always saying, about the Khalistan movement revival, which has been, they've been trying, not entirely successful. The sad part about it is that this was a state that had faced a very, very severe problem of terrorism. And they tackled it so well that, they wiped it out literally. And now you feel it's, gradually creeping back. So, I think, a lot of fronts that, the security has been lax, one. And also, if you see the other incidents, like the drones coming, heavy lifting drones coming in and, dropping arms, ammunition and all that. So there have been such incidents. So it is very, very clear, maybe the drones were dropping off weapons and, asking these people to, transport it to Jammu Kashmir. But the very fact that rogue drones are flying in, which means itself it's a security nightmare. And I think Punjab police could have done better, in screening and scanning and ensuring that such incidents didn't happen, because today they were completely caught off guard.
Exactly. So, and in fact, there are possibilities that this could be one of a suicide bomber attempt, which may have gone wrong because the intensity of the blast was pretty much high. The walls of the bathroom were shattered. The glass panes were also shattered of the bathroom, and a lot of the glasses of the windows. So that shows the intensity of the blast was much higher. Maybe speculations are there that this could be a suicide bomber who was trying to infiltrate, and the damage could be much more bigger if the person would have been able to carry out this attack.
Correct. No, see, as of now, the this one, or the Mr. The commissioner of police is saying that they suspect that the man who died in the blast himself was the bomber. So one thing. So what was he planning exactly? And now the body is yet to be this one, what is that, identified. So that the NSG will do, because until we started speaking, actually the body was still at the place where the blast happened. So it's a little open ended on that front, because what their initial analysis is saying is that it could have been either that same man trying to trigger off the bomb, or he may have been very close to the bomb. So that is what the initial reports from the Punjab police is suggesting. And about the casualties, the thing is, it would have been much more. But Akash, today the lawyers were on a strike actually. So most of them were not in the court premises. One, they were not in the court premises. Had it not been a lawyer strike, I would definitely, these smaller courts, the lower courts, basically, they tend to crowd a lot.
Right.
Casualties could have been much more, but they were on strike today. So, the court was relatively empty. That is one. It was relatively empty. Whether he was planning to place the bomb in the in the toilet area, or was he planning to carry it into the court? That only investigation will tell. It's kind of too early to speculate anything on that front. Okay, but definitely, whatever said and done, security lapse. And also, there was one miraculous save also. There was a big grill from the toilet which fell down. It happened to land on a car. It could have landed on people. That could have been even more chaotic after that. So, a lot of issues. But long and short of it is, these courts have, metal detectors, they have security, everything. It's quite surprising how these people are managing to, take such explosive material into such high secure zones, actually.
Exactly, Vicky, and that also brings us to the question of the security of the courts in India. Also, like you said, that you have metal detectors at everything. We remember this thing, Rohini Court, the ID, the blast that took place. But before that, there was actually a shooting that happened inside the court premises, and that created a lot of issue. And it was the same court, the Rohini District Court, where that shooting happened of a gangster. Then this kind of an incident happened again in Rohini Court, where there was this DRDO scientist who had this rivalry with some lawyer, and he wanted to teach him a lesson. And then now this kind of a situation that happened in Ludhiana Court. Of course, Punjab is going for elections, but this also creates a lot of questions on the security when it comes to the court. So how do you view this thing, that these are the places where the judgment has been passed, or there are culprits coming in, they're accused, they're victims. So how does the police manage these things then?
No, clearly, Akash, you see, many times, see, like I can also give an incident, which happened in Karnataka High Court, when one person got stabbed inside the court. Okay, so, basically, leave alone a bomb. I mean, even a knife is not allowed inside a court. Now, something like this happens in the Karnataka High Court. And then, that precursor, one small blast took place in a lower court in Delhi, and, exactly a month or two later, Indian Mujahideen, they carried out a bomb blast outside Delhi High Court, in which 40 people almost died out.
Right.
So clearly, when it comes to court security is very. And one thing I have also noticed is the sense is that they don't tend to check the lawyers. That is one thing. They do not tend to check the lawyers. You see a familiar face every day. Basically fourth pillar, so, they can be very argumentative, how can you check me and things like that. So that is one more aspect that, security has to take very, very seriously, because anybody who's gone into a court and, carried out a blast or some kind of an attack, he's always gone in lawyer's clothing. That is one thing.
Exactly.
And I've seen with my own eyes that, lawyers don't get checked most of the time, and this is a very, very clear thing which happens across the country. They can argue, and, of course, they have the power of filing cases. So that is one more thing. So nobody, tries to rub them the wrong side. And this is a precedent, or this is a trend that has to, completely stop. And because courts can be, this one, what is that, places, of choice for both the terrorists, or somebody is unhappy with the litigation, with the judgment, that frustration, because first of all, it is so frustrating to go to court, and after so many years, you're not getting an order in your favor. That frustration, can this one. But if they want to prevent such attacks, then, not just the litigants and the general public who go to the court, but it should be the lawyers who have to be checked. Because if you walk in with a black coat, that does not mean, you can just get complete access to that court without getting checked.
Absolutely, very true. And Vicky, of course, we were talking about in terms of how this could also mold out into this attack on Ludhiana District Court could also mold out as a terror plot. So, what are your thoughts about it? Do you think that this is a thing that has happened in a larger scheme? Because, of course, New Year is just around the corner. Christmas is just 2 days ago, 2 days after today. So, how do you see this thing? Because Punjab is also coming for election. The kind of religious tension that has been created in Punjab in just a week's time. So all of these things really create a lot of questions, because in those cases of religious disturbances, both the people were killed off by the mobs. No identification was done, and then of course these kind of incidents again happening in Punjab. So it raises a lot of first of all security issues, and then second of all creates this kind of a question that are these terror outfits trying to create that lone wolf kind of an attack here in Punjab, because of course it is close to the Pakistan border first, and secondly it has always been a volatile state.
Yeah, see, in the sense, it's not like this was not a warning on the wall as such. This has always been a warning on the wall, because there were prior to this also, if you remember the killing of the comrade, who was part of the army, and it very much played a big role in this one. What is that? Fighting terrorism within Punjab. Now he was killed recently. Now that was a very targeted killing. That was one thing. So that was again, that was again lone wolf. And then the NIA charge sheet says that it was a larger international conspiracy. That anybody who's tried to wipe out Khalistanis from this one Punjab will be targeted. So that is also one aspect to go into. So multiple angles. You fire. A blast here, a sacrilege there, then lynching there, and then targeted killing there, dropping of drones. So you're basically keeping the security mechanism extremely busy. And when you have so much of writing on the wall, Akash, about the kind of incidents, and these are not like stray incidents. These are like back to back. They've taken place at that time. I think there is definitely a larger hand. I mean, I wouldn't pinpoint anything on this blast as say, because that's what everyone thought after the Delhi blast. It turned out to be very personal at the end of it. One, but even keeping this blast outside, the tensions are extremely high out there in Punjab, as we mentioned, the drones and the targeted killings and the drug problem, all these kind of things. So this is has been a long this one, and especially for the past 10 years, when your intelligence is trying to tell you that it's a very well known fact that all those Khalistani guys who managed to get out of the country were all harbored in Pakistan, and Pakistan will use anything, even a religious corridor to infiltrate. That untrustworthy it is. So, and this being a border state, it becomes even more critical and worrisome.
Absolutely. So we have to wait and see, because the reports are still coming in. Investigation will take place. As I told, NIA and NSD teams have been they have been rushed to Ludhiana. So we need to see that how the whole report comes out. What does the investigation say about was it a lone wolf attack? Like what exactly happened in this whole situation? So we'll keep a very close eye on that. And thank you very much, Vicky, for joining me and sharing your input about this whole situation. And of course, as the Punjab elections are there, we'll definitely keep a very close eye to this whole incident. Once again, thank you for joining in.
Thanks, Akash. My pleasure. Thanks.